And so, you mentioned that Joseph, Zephaniah, Joseph's name was changed by Pharaoh from Joseph to Zephaniah.
Right.
And that is in, we'll read that really quick. That's in Genesis 41:45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zephaniah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, and Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And that's another good point.
Yeah, the similarity. I mean, do you see? We're talking about similarities again of Joshua and Joseph. Here we see that Joseph's name is changed.
That's right.
To Zephaniah, and he gets this wife, Egyptian wife, priest wife.
Daughter of Ham.
Right, daughter of Ham, the high priest's daughter. Okay, but we also see that our Messiah, whose name is Joshua, his name is changed to Jesus.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So we see again what happens to the fathers happen to the sons. In fact, that's not the first time that the names are changed in the scripture. We see Joseph's name is changed to Zephaniah. We see that Daniel, when he's sold into Babylonian captivity, his name is changed to Belteshazzar. And we got Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael. Their names were changed to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Right. Okay, this is no strange phenomenon.
Matter of fact, when our fathers came into these lands, one of the first things that they did was change our names.
Wow. And that's and so why do people change? We don't give them a rabbit trail, but why would you change a person's name?
Well, what I understand, when you change a person's name, that is a sign that you have authority over them.
Yes. You have authority. You only name things that you have authority over. For example, when Yah created Adam, the first assignment he gave to Adam was the job of what?
Naming the animals.
Remember, he said, you shall have dominion over the fish of the sea, or the fowls of the air, okay? You have authority over all my hands are created. And Adam demonstrated this authority by naming everything.
That's
and
right.
Just like, for example, I have a business. Guess what? It is my privilege, because it's my business. You understand that? To name my business. I have authority over it, okay? My children, okay? Me and my wife have been blessed to have 12 beautiful children, and I had the privilege of naming each and every last one of them. You'll see the doctor couldn't name my children. My friends couldn't name my children. They might suggest, but the bottom line is I had the privilege of naming my children because I have authority over my children.
So as you're saying that, then that proves that names are important. Here's why.
Why?
Here's why names are important.
Why?
A name is an identifier.
Yes, sir.
If they want me, if someone is looking for me, you look in the phone book, or for example, the government. If the government needs to speak with me, they have they have my name, and they have a unique number because a name is an identifier. Now, when you change or hide someone's name, you are wiping them out of existence.
Yes.
And was that the book of Psalms when they said, let's cut them off?
Psalms 83 and verse 4. In fact, we'll read that. When we quote script, we like you to go to it so you can read it. So we're not doing these magic tricks and pulling rats out of hats, rabbits or whatever they pull out of hats.
Was it
Isaiah? I think it's 83 and verse. Psalms 83 and I think verse 4. And I believe that's the scripture. Is that it? Psalms 83 and 4. Is that what you're looking for?
What is
dealing with identity?
Yep, Psalms 83 and 4.
Yes. What does it say?
Actually, I'll start at 83 and 3.
Okay.
It said, they have taken crafty counsel against your people and have consulted against your hidden ones.
And now who is they, by the way? Well, verse 2 says, for lo, your enemies make a tumult, and they that hate you have lifted up their head. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against your people and consulted against your hidden ones.
Hidden ones.
Hidden ones.
They have said,
what they say?
Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be remembered, may be no more in remembrance. I have to say something. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a guy named Willie Lynch.
Okay.
He was a slave owner around, the 1700s? And he was invited to America by slave owners. And they wanted to know, how do you break these people,
destroy their will,
that they brought over here in captivity. Willie Lynch, and please type in Willie Lynch, Google it. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Willie Lynch said, what we got to do is, they said, destroy the brute's mind, make him forget everything he knows, change his way of worship, change their name.
So that means Sunday, right?
Sunday what?
Worship. So make them worship.
Make them worship on Sunday. Well, they'll do things our way.
Okay.
So he said, make them forget their name.
Forget their name.
Their way of worship.
Toby. That's a good name. Toby.
Toby.
Right.
Not
Kobe Kente. Toby.
Yeah, we'll name him Kobe or John Smith.
John Smith.
Okay. So what he did, he said, let's cut them off from who they are.
Right.
He said, make them forget who they are. Again, these people who came to the Western Hemisphere on the bottoms of ship crying Kumbaya, calling out to Yahweh in Hebrew, he said, no, change it. You Hebrews, you now become Christians.
Yeah. Right.
So, it's just something that the scripture is right here, and it's a continual thing.
But do you know, then we're going to go back to this similarity. Sure. Do you notice that it said, verse 4, that they said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. The name of Israel as a nation not in remembrance. Today, is there a nation on the earth called Israel?
No.
Huh?
No.
No, they call themselves what? They say Jews. But they're not known. They're not known as Israelites. They're known as what?
Jews.
As Jews.
That's right. That's right.
The nation, that name has been cut off from among the people.
Right.
Anyway, so these similarities between the Messiah and Joseph are quite striking.
Right.
And again, they didn't recognize their brother. Okay? We mentioned before that Joseph was sold into slavery by, it was Yehuda. What is that? Genesis.
Judas.
What's that? Genesis chapter 37 and what? 26. Genesis 37, 26. Here's what it says. Talking about Joseph. And Yehuda said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him. And he is our brother, our flesh, and his brethren were content. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. Now, when we go into the Brit Hadashah, which is the renewed covenant, okay, you know, the Christians call it the New Testament, but it's actually in Hebrew it's Hadashah, which means renewed. Okay,
not something totally new.
Not something totally new. It's renewed. Okay, kind of like if you're gonna read your house, if you have a house and you don't like the way it looks, so you tear it and gut it out, and you put up new walls. And
or like
call that?
Refurbishing.
You refurbish your house.
Right, refurbishing with the same parts.
The same part, but it's still the same house, right?
Same house.
Same
you get
address,
a computer. You
same
buy
foundation.
Same foundation.
Okay, yeah.
Or it's like renewing your vows.
Yeah, renewing your vows.
Same vows. We just renewing them.
We don't go up there and say a different vow. We repeat the same vow. Okay, so this is a renewed covenant. In other words, God is renewing His covenant with His people.
Right.
And so in Mark 14. Mark chapter 14 verses what? 10.
And while you're going to get that, it's also what though the two brothers they both have in common is